from being just a news story to making people curious about what exactly happened. Patrick Reed and Rory McIlroy became part of the limelight, and I believe you're also here to know what happened between them. Well, let's find out. So apparently there was a news story that caused a stir in the world of golf just a few days back. This story was about Patrick Reed, who had flicked a tee in McIlroy's direction. Where did this happen, you may ask? Well, this happened in the practice area at the Dubai Desert Classic. Now, the thing that actually intrigued people wasn't why it was on the news story, but the fact that nobody understood what in the world happened there. A while after that, a video emerged on the internet, and that's when the matter got a bit worse than expected. So, in the video, fans saw a kind of ghastly driving range brawl that could only happen in a sport like golf. Now, the thing was that in the beginning, it didn't really feel like an issue, but the two golfers were later asked about each other, and that's when the real issue was revealed.
I didn't see it. I was down by my bag and he came up to me and I was busy working and sort of doing my practice, and I didn't feel the need to acknowledge him, so.
Apparently, the two had had a petty exchange right there, and it was a lot more than what everyone thought. So here's what happened. First of all, the story goes back to the original article that 10 Golf posted a while back. And just so you know, the site had described this matter as a tense scene. And then there was an article that was published by The Independent. Now, this one said that Reed was seen tossing a tee in Rory's direction, but they also topped it off with "in disgust." And that's what the main part was. So a question arises here. Did Reed actually toss the tee?
So, I just need to tighten it up a little bit and, just make a couple more putts. And the good thing is at least play the par 5s a little better today.
And can you talk us through 17? I mean, have you ever been stuck up a tree before?
Yeah,
Well, as per the video and what the critics have said so far, yes, he did. He tossed a tee in the direction of Rory, but the problem is that it's hard to whether he threw it at him or not. And then the part "in disgust" also needs some explanation. Can't say that it was in disgust, actually, but here's an explanation. So, in the video, you see that Reed goes up to Rory, who looks like he's busy with his coach. Rory's caddy is also present there. Now, here's the thing. Golfers have different ways of practicing when on the range. Some would be okay with someone coming up to them and saying hello, while others don't like that. And it seems like Rory is the second kind, while Reed is the first one. What many fans have said is that when you're a pro, you're used to it and it shouldn't be a big deal. In the video, you can see that Reed went up to Rory's caddy first and got a handshake, while Rory didn't even bother looking up. So yeah, it was an awkward situation, and that's when the player walked away while he also tossed a tee back at Rory. But with all that, there comes a load of other stuff to talk about. So do these two have some beef going on? Well, from what I know, they didn't have any beef really. Yes, some might talk about the 2016 Ryder Cup issue when the two were seen giving each other fist pumps. But wasn't that long ago? Also, fans got to know later that it was all just fun and nothing serious. And after that, the two have shared quite a good relationship. In fact, one could even call them good friends.
Rory McIlroy.
It's the only time in golf where you either root for one person or another, and you're watching a normal golf tournament, you might have a few favorites that you root for or you pull for, and
there were even times when Reed would get in some troubled situation and Rory would go on to defend his mate. This was something that someone on Twitter explained. Brendan Porath, the co-host of the Shotgun Start podcast, was the one to tweet about it. In his tweet, the host stated that it's worth noting that Rory has stood up for Reed on several occasions, and he quoted a sentence that he had said to support his fella. It read, "A lot of people within the game, it's almost like a hobby to sort of kick him when he's down." He then also talked about the time time when Rory had stated how his interactions with Patrick had been great. But yeah, right now things are definitely awkward between them, if not beefy. It's most probably because of how Reed has left the PGA Tour and joined Live Golf. On top of that, he's also sued a big portion of the golfing community, which somehow includes Rory. And with all that, it's important to include what the pros had to say. Here's how Rory explained what happened. While speaking to the media, the player was very dismissive of the story that was being told. When asked about what had happened that day, he simply said, "Nothing."
Like, you can't pretend like nothing's happening, right? I think that's the thing. It's like, why? That's, we're living in reality here. He's not, so.
Can you see yourself maybe one day mending those bridges with Patrick?
But there was more, and he did spill the tea. According to the PGA Tour star, Patrick came to say hello to him. However, he didn't really want him to do so, and that was all that happened. He also confirmed that he never saw a tee or even felt a tee, but someone else surely did. He also said that it was a storm in a teacup, and he can't believe how did it even turn into a news story. So yes, it was nothing really. That's what Rory said, but it clearly wasn't just nothing, since there's a lot more to it. The thing is that when two guys who were okay with each other to a friendly extent started acting like this, their actions are bound to get attention. But most importantly, it also tells that there's something even bigger going on. And Rory gave the fans a hint of that too, as he was tempted to go deeper into the matter. He revealed that the player's lawyer subpoenaed him on Christmas Eve. That was a time when he was just trying to enjoy a good time with his family. However, a lawyer showed up and delivered something bad to him. So obviously he wasn't going to react nicely after that. He then stated that he's just living in the reality, and he doesn't know where Reed is living. The pro also confirmed that if he was in his shoes, he would have never expected any hello or handshake at all. So that means something has actually ruined their relationship, and now there's no time to repair it, and that Reed's suing Rory. Interesting. But is it interesting or just another hobby that our guy has picked? After all, Patrick has literally been suing everyone in his sight nowadays. But here's some more detail that might force you to take sides. What happened was that Rory was served by Reed's lawyer, but not because there was a personal suit. Yes, that's right. It was Reed's lawyer against the entire PGA Tour. Now here's an even bigger detail. Reed didn't send Clayman, his lawyer, there. It was the lawyer himself who had something to do with all the suit and stuff.
Have them check the facts, and they come to us first and check it, and unfortunately it wasn't, and because of that, it's bashing my name, and
But Rory associates the guy with his defector fella, so it looks like the two will eventually get someplace to reconcile, or maybe not, but they are definitely not saying hello for the time being. Also, yes, Rory actually did get served on that Christmas Eve, and he wasn't lying about that, because as per the affidavit, it happened at his home at 3:50 p.m. on December 24th, and this was the information that the lawyer had revealed to the public himself. They did Rory wrong in that case, not gonna lie. And this was all the tea from what happened between the two pros.